Hi, I'm Dr. Natalie Corthésy. I'm at the BCA and I'm a writer. I have 3 collections of poetry. The first one, Fried Green Plantains, was my very first. And the cover is designed by Caroline Hill, a graphic designer here from Brixton. This collection is very special because it was my first, which regrouped poems that I've been writing for a very, very long time. I tried over, I suppose, my whole life to put this collection together, but never was brave enough to publish it. And so this one is very special because it has poems that I wrote from as early as my teenage years, through my 20s, 30s, and so on. And so you'll find that it reflects a period in my writing where most of the poems were very short, not very long, but very much a reflection of Jamaican iconography and what I represent. My second collection of poems was published more recently, Sky Juice, in 2021. And this book is very special because it was published during COVID. I like this one particularly because of its diversity in terms of the themes of the poems that I put together in this work. This collection features the poem The Helper Experiment, which I was awarded the Caribbean Writers Mervyn Williams E. Award for Best Emerging Writer from the Caribbean. Mrs. Kingston 8. My ideal helper should be between 40 and 45 years old. I prefer a country woman accustomed to the simplicity of rural Jamaican life. Not from Portland, they're innately superstitious. And not from St. Mary, they're notoriously lazy. And not from St. Thomas, they're just plain dunce. Helper number 1. My name is Pam. I am from Watchwell, St. Elizabeth. I am 36 years old and I have 5 children, age 20, 16. Latest recently launched book, White Rum and Coconut Water, was launched here at BCA last year. And I'm very, very proud of this one because I think it shows for me some growth and maturity in my writing, and also has kept true to my intention and my personality in terms of how I write and my commitment to telling our own stories as Jamaican and Caribbean people. What inspires me to write is first and foremost my passion to write photographs, I would say. I'm very much inspired visually when I see things, when I meet people. I will take a mental snapshot. I think that it is very possible to listen with all your senses. I don't think we just listen with our eyes or our ears. And in some ways, we also listen even through our speech and what we don't say. And so for me, it is as important to tell the stories as I would hope that people want to listen to my stories. And there is a moment for me in writing where I ask myself, will this poem still be interesting 20 years from now? Will it still have some impact or value? Will it still resonate? When I first started writing, even at a very early stage, it was very personal. And I often imagined that the reader would take my poem and be reading it quietly in a corner, curled up in bed or something like that. And the more I went along was the more I became interested in the idea of presenting the poem. And then I was forced to present the poem. And that was a very conflictual moment for me because I didn't imagine myself as a performance poet. It turned out, I remember very clearly, many, many years ago, I had poems that won awards in the Jamaica Cultural Development Commission's National Literary Awards. And it was a year when Joan Andrea Hutchinson was on the program, Blacka Ellis was on the program. We were being required to read the work at a show. And I was told, you know, if you don't come and read the poem, somebody else will read it. And I thought, but I don't want anybody else to read my work. That's crazy. And backstage, I was having a meltdown. And I remember Joan Andrea saying to me, Natalie, just let it go. I have allowed her mentorship to sit with me ever since. I've learned how to perform the work. And something magical happened. I realized that people really enjoyed hearing me read the work. And that took my experience as a poet to another level. I recently read at the Jamaica Brew Festival in Florida, and I was particularly nervous because I was the first poet, or was the first panel of the festival. I actually took the time to really sort of work on performing the poetry, and it was so well received that I was very encouraged, and it gave me cause to reflect on the poems that I didn't want to perform and how I felt about those, and how would I get other people to read those, and what if I read the ones that I didn't think were necessarily lending themselves to this performance. Yardies. Kingston City's intersections are littered with angry boys, faces crushed like old newspaper, too torn to read, crumpled dreams written in their expressions with bold print. You can't just show up and start begging. Windscreen wiping is a career for professional idlers and yardies in training, not laggards. Credentials are no joke. Don't know your father? Boom! Mother beat you with electric cord? Brah! Held a gun before you were 10? Boy! Belly full of rage, yet you're hungry. Blood oil! Steal or take, a wiper and a rag. Fill a used plastic bottle with soap. Find the Don. Who controls the corner? Respect is payable in advance. A little herb might improve your chance. Shoeless feet blistering on smoldering concrete, zigzagging through traffic jam roads. Rapping on frozen glass for change is a man-making vocation. You have to want to kill your father to save your mother, and leave your mother to save yourself. Throw your pride down on the yellow brick curb, upturned fingers huddled in supplication. God's providence is a cracked window Babylon can slip coins through without touching. Solid hands that have forgotten unblemished memories of milk-filled breasts and cradling arms. The odor of spirits wilting in the sun, waiting to be seen, conjures up a vision of speckled ripe bananas, ignored for too long. I would say that I mostly write in an observational way. It's not about me per se. I try to be authentic in the representation of the voice or the persona, and less about putting myself as an individual in the work. There are some poems that present themselves as personal, meaning it's intended to invite the reader to connect on a personal level, whereas there are other poems where the intention is to present a story that you could watch from the outside. I am very much inspired by cultural experiences. It could be the beach. It could be strolling through the Brixton market. It could be watching families interact together at a picnic. Very much, I would say, people to people and what moves people. That inspires me. Hi, my name is Dr. Natalie Corthésy, and I'm at BCA in Brixton, London. I have 3 collections of poems here at the BCA, Fried Green Plantains, Sky Juice, and White Rum and Coconut Water.